Well, hello champions, and welcome to It's DawnyWawnyTime. Guess what? It's Chit Chat Sunday, y'all. So if you want to see what we're talking about today, then you know what to do, baby. Just keep on watching, keep on watching. Okay, so champions, we're going to start out Chit Chat Sunday with the weekend review. Yes! So I want to go back because last Sunday, you know, it was the first Sunday that I started Chit Chat Sundays, really. And I discussed my week, whereby I discussed a friend of mine having some, finding out about a very close friend of hers that's very, very ill. And, you know, just some other little things. So off of that, many of you commented back to me, and I truly appreciate this because this is the feedback that I'm looking for on this weekend review type of thing. But many of y'all commented back to me and let me know how your week. Okay, so first of all, before we go into that, let me just do a quick thank you to everyone for all of your support and your prayers and your uplifting messages. I passed those on to my friend, and she is so delighted and so thankful that our prayer circle reaches beyond where we live. It's all across the country. So she thanks you so much, and she asks that you continue to pray now. And I'm looking at my monitor here to make sure that I'm still in frame. So some of you all commented back to me on what your week was like, and I just want to, you know, say some things that were shared with me. They were in my comment section, so it's not like I am giving out people's information or business that, you know, I shouldn't. But in any event, I want to say, can we add Jeanine Depew? I think I'm saying it right. I'm going to link her channel down below. She recently found out that one of her very close family members was diagnosed with lung cancer, and they have months to live. So Jeanine, we are praying for you. We are praying for strength. We're praying for your family. We're praying for deliverance. We're praying that the Lord keeps you all in his hand, and we're praying for a peaceful transition for your family member. Moving on, Karen Maria. Hi Karen. Hi Jeannie as well. Karen Marina Maria, she's grieving over a loss that she had a year ago. And I totally understand that because I had lost two very close family members to me, my mother and my grandmother, and they've been gone a minimum of 10 years, and I still grieve for them. So in my opinion, Karen, it is perfectly natural to grieve. There is no time limit on grieving. You may think that you're over it, but then you may see something that reminds you of that person, or you may hear something or whatever, and then you grieve again. So for me, I look at it as just being a lifelong process for me. But the grieving is not always making me feel bad. Sometimes that grieving makes me feel good, and it uplifts me because I hear things, I hear them talking to me, you know, I hear what they taught me when I was growing up, when I encountered certain situations, so on and so forth. So I just say, just rock with it, roll with it, accept it as it comes. It does get a little bit easier though. It does get a little bit easier. And then moving on, Shirley Smith. I'm going to list all their channels down below, champions. She was so funny. She was like, she was stressing because she's got homework for her kids. Now, I don't know, I have 4 children, and they're all grown and with families of their own. But I remember when my children were in school, it was like keeping them involved in activities. I had cheerleaders, I had band members, and I had football and basketball players. So keeping them involved in their activities, paying all the fees, making all the meetings, just being active in the PTA and all of that, the booster clubs for each of the extracurricular activities that they were all in, that was enough. But then to have the homework. Now for me, the homework was not for them. It was like, I called it parental homework because there was a lot of stuff that I had to Google. I had to look up. I didn't even remember being taught in school when I was in school, you know. So, honey, Shirley, I truly, truly, truly sympathize with you. But just hang in there because you are investing in their future, believe it or not. And you are helping them to be well-rounded people. So kudos to you for hanging in there. It's gonna be stressful. I mean, I don't know how old your children are or how much farther you have to go with them in school, but in any event, just hang in there, honey, because it gets better. It really does, and the rewards pay off in the end. So kudos to you. Okay, so champions, now we're going to go into my weekend review so that y'all can comment as usual below about your weekend review. So as y'all saw that I put out a vlog and I did a tutorial, my Think Pink tutorial. I thank you guys so much for your support on that because Lord knows, honey, I was like all over the place with that doggone tutorial. Now the vlog wasn't bad, but then the eyebrow thing, I have really got to, you know, keep in mind that I am filming, you know, my tutorials and stuff so I can stay in stay in the frame because I cut a lot of stuff out because it was like I wasn't even in the frame at all, you know. And I'm like, okay. So y'all just bear with me on that. Like I said, I was just laughing to myself. And you know, with the faces and you know, the little things, like I was making gestures and stuff like that, that is really, really what I'm doing. You know, when I do my thing with this makeup and stuff, you know, I consistently talk to myself all the time anyway. So, and I do occasionally, no, more than occasionally, I pretty much answer myself as well. And so, yes, there is a little, I'll say, craziness going on with me, but there is nothing wrong with my mind at all. Okay, it's just that I just do that and I keep myself on track, you know. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that does that. It's some of y'all out there that do it as well. But you know, I want to thank you guys for your support on that because I was just tickled by when I was going back to edit those videos. That's all I wanted to say on that tip. Now moving on to champion appreciation winners. I have 2 winners this week. Y'all know that I said in my first chit chat of, well, yeah, it was the first chit chat of what I had upcoming, what I was bringing to my channel, some new and different stuff. I said that I didn't really want to do giveaways, although I'm not saying I won't do giveaways at certain milestones, but right now I would like to just give back and show some appreciation to my champions that, you know, for those that have hung in here with me since day one, and for those that are new but are active with me and they interact with me and they enjoy interacting with me as I do with them. So I just want to show some appreciation to you all. So for this past week, and I keep looking down because I'm looking at my notes. Y'all know I got to have notes because I can't remember jack. And then I'm looking at my computer over here to make sure that I'm always in the frame. I'm telling you, it's just so much going on. You just don't sit down in front of, you know, it's just a whole lot going on. But anyway, that's another video. So my champion appreciation winners for last week are Shirley Smith. Hi Shirley, and congratulations, boo, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. I'm sure you've already got my email that I sent you, and I do believe you've already responded with where I'm supposed to send your appreciation gift. So thank you, and I appreciate you. I will leave her channel link below as well because she has an active channel. And then my other appreciation gift is for Anita J. Hi Anita, how are you? Now Miss Anita does not have an active channel where she posts videos, but she does support my channel along with other channels. And she's always active when she watches my videos, and she's very interactive with me, and she just kind of, you know, gives me a pep talk every now and then in some of her comments. So I appreciate you, Miss Anita. Please respond to my email so that I can get your package in the mail. Okay, moving on, champions. I want to announce that I am trying to come up with a schedule. So for now, my schedule is going to be for posting videos. It's going to be Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Yeah, that sounds like a lot, but I've pretty much been sticking to that schedule, with the exception of yesterday. I didn't post one yesterday. I just had a lot going on yesterday, and I'm trying to get away from that. But I miscounted my videos when I did my videos last week, so I was a video short. So hopefully I can stay on top of that and, you know, keep this schedule. If after a couple of weeks I need to drop a day, then I'll come back in my chit chat and I'll let y'all know. But for now, I'm going to try to post on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I'm trying to get it posted because of VIPB Vanessa YouTube support team. I now realize that I can schedule my videos to just go live whenever. I didn't really pay any attention to that. So thank you, Vanessa, for that tip. So that's been working out pretty well for me, and I'm trying to have them scheduled in the morning. So we'll see how that goes, guys. We'll see how that goes. But that is what I'm trying to do as far as a schedule right now. Like I say, if it happens to get to be too much, or I can't keep that commitment, I will always come back and let you guys know, so that you know when to expect a new video from ItsDawnyWawny. Okay, now moving on to something that's dear to my heart. I want to talk about annual physicals, mammograms, and voting. These are all dear things to my heart, and I'm very passionate about each and every one of them. Once a year, I get a complete physical. And I mean, they take blood work, they test my liver, they test my hormones, they test everything that can be tested, and it's all coming from my blood work. So therefore, if they see any abnormalities in my blood work, then that prompts the doctors to do something else, to run a different test. And so that'll prompt them to just start, you know, poking, and not necessarily poking me, but researching what's going on, because I've got some type of abnormalities going on. And that's a perfect way to catch things early on that might be going awry. So I want to ask my champions to go out and get your physical, especially if you have health insurance. There is no reason why you should be contributing to your health insurance or paying for your health insurance, depending on what your situation is, and not utilize going to the doctor at least once a year and getting a physical. I'm not talking about going when you're sick, you know, to get better. I'm talking about, that's fine too. You should do that too. But what I'm talking about is just going and getting an annual physical at the same time every year. Find you a doctor that you trust, and you go to that doctor and you get your physical and you get worked up so that they can test everything to make sure that everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Also, if you have a doctor, speak with your doctor. If it's someone that you trust, then you need to share with them, because they can only go by the information that you give them. And if you never go to the doctor, and when you do go to the doctor, you know, for your physical, if you're getting a physical and you're not saying anything about what might be bothering you, because they should be asking you, do you have any concerns? Do you have anything going on that you know, have some questions about that you haven't shared with me? Yada, yada, yada. They should be asking you some type of question. That's the gateway to saying, hey, well, you know what? I got this mark on my arm that's been there for a while, and I have no idea what it is. You see what I'm saying? I am a preventive person if I can prevent something. You know, I don't want to wait to have whatever, and then that's when I start trying to fix it. A lot of things you can fix you know, in the very early stages. So that's all I'm going to say. You guys, please go out, find you someone that you trust, and get you a physical once a year. That moves me into, for the females, that also includes going to visit your gynecologist and getting your annual exam once a year. Now, I know that's not the best thing, the best feeling, but it's a very uncomfortable thing to go to your gynecologist and have your annual exam, but it is a necessary exam that we as females need to do regularly. I go like clockwork. In the fall of the year, because that's when I do all my stuff annually, I go to my primary care physician and I get a physical. I mean, she tests me from the hooter to the tooter. You know what I'm saying? With my blood work, okay? She also does a chest x-ray every year. I go to the same doctor every year because she has my records. I don't bounce around. I find somebody that I'm comfortable with, and that's the person that I stay with, because then they get to know me as a patient, and you know, we have a relationship. You know, we talk about our kids and families and work and stuff, you know, but we also talk about my health care. So that's what I do. And not only do I have a primary care physician, I also have my gynecologist, who I see in the fall once a year for my annual, and we have a relationship. Now, my doctors I've had for at least 10 years. And again, we have that relationship where we talk about our personal lives, but we also talk about my health care. I also have a heart doctor because I'm aging. You know, I just want to make sure things are working right, you know, so I will go to my heart doctor every 2 years, and just, you know, get a workup. You know, do I got any blockage going on? Do, you know, oh, excuse me, guys. You know, are my valves working properly? You know, they give me some type of test. I think it's a stress test. I don't know, but it's expensive as all get out. But for me, I don't care. I want to know that I'm okay physically, you know, and so that's why I go. I also, because I'm at that age, I have to get a colonoscopy, you know, every so many years. So, and that right there, you know, it's a whole lot better than it used to be, you know, but it's still what it is, you know. So, like I said, a lot of the things, it's uncomfortable. I go to the dentist at least once a year, you know. I just believe in preventative health care, and therefore, if I have a trail, you know, with my records, and I go every single year, and I go this year, and they look at my stuff, you know, from last year and compare to the stuff this year, and they see something, they can kind of pinpoint when stuff was starting to occur. You know what I mean? So it helps all the way around. The next thing for us females and males, actually, Richard Roundtree, he didn't pass, but he was diagnosed with breast cancer. Go get a mammogram. Get your mammogram every year. You know what I'm saying? Do your self breast checks, okay? In the shower. If you don't know how to do it, Google it. Self breast checks. They're out there. If you ask your doctor, your primary care doctor, the little clinic, or whoever, the physicians, they can tell you how to do that. It's a simple thing that you can do in the shower. You can do laying down before you go to bed at night, you know, so that you can get to know your breast. And you can get to, therefore, if you know your breast and you know how they feel, then if you feel something strange, it'll automatically key you to go and make an appointment because you haven't felt this before. You see what I'm saying? It all ties in together. Mammograms are so very important when it comes to breast cancer, because the earlier that you know, find it, the better off that you are, and the better prognosis that you can have, and the better, more, you know, you can fight it harder and much better because you're getting it in the early stages. So your survival rate with it is a whole lot better. Now, I don't want y'all to think that I'm just rambling on and on. I'm really not rambling on and on, but I really want to put this out here because my channel is built on family and support and uplifting. So my children need to hear this too. You know what I'm saying? And so does my grandchildren. So that they grow up hearing, hey, you know, Dow said, because that's what my grandchildren call me, Dow. Dow said in her video that we need to be going to the doctor, mama, to get a physical. So make me an appointment, take me to the doctor. When they become adults, it'll be habit forming. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm gonna say on that. Moving into voting. Okay, voting is very near and dear to my heart. My parents, I came up in the 60s. So my parents were very active in the civil rights movement. Very active in the civil rights movement. As a matter of fact, I can remember being a little girl and my parents coming home and they were all beat up, all because they were trying to go from the north side of the city to the south side of the city, and they came home beat up, and I was scared to death. So I asked them, why do you continue to do this? And they said to me, and I have never forgotten this, because we want you to be able to go anywhere, do anything, go to any school, go to any job and get that job, you know, and they just kept going on down the list. And so I'm standing on their shoulders and others who fought. So that's the first reason. You know, I have young children, well, young adults, and they know the struggle because they have heard the stories throughout our family and with them growing up. But there's a lot of young people out here that say, hey, don't tell me about the struggle. I don't want to know about the struggle. I've heard about the struggle. Tell me why I need to vote. You need to vote because besides it being the right thing to do, besides it being your right to vote, you need to vote because if you don't vote, you don't have a voice. Now, granted, just because you vote for somebody and they don't win, you know, you shouldn't give up, you know, but you should vote because you have a voice. And every vote counts. So if you don't vote, then you can't complain about what's going on or what's not going on. You can't complain that you go to apply for a Pell Grant to go to college because your family doesn't have money to send you to college and there's no money, or that program is cut out. You can't complain about that if you didn't vote. Okay? The second thing is that you can't all just don't vote in the presidential elections. You got to vote in your local elections. You got to vote for your local district attorneys and your local commissioners and your local aldermen and your local judges, you know, and your local, your state government, your governors and your lieutenant governors and your senators and your congress people, because those are the ones that's going to Washington that are going to make the laws. So it's just not voting for the president. People get thinks the president has all this power. Yes, the president does have a lot of power. He has to have the Senate and the Congress helping him. And if he doesn't have their assistance, then his agenda or his platform that he used to get voted into office is not going to make a hill of beans, y'all. It's not going to make a hill of beans if he doesn't have the Senate and Congress behind him. I'm just saying. So you need to start at your local level and start voting in those elections. Therefore, you can get the people in office that may get some stuff happening. That's all I'm saying. If you're not registered to vote, please go out and get yourself registered. I know that a lot of states thus far, their voting by mail deadline has passed, and the registration to vote in this year's elections has passed. Even if you missed that, you could still go register to vote for the next local elections. You can start at that level. But just go out and vote, y'all. Just go out and vote. I'm not even going to tell you who to vote for because that's a personal thing, but you need to vote. And then finally on Chit Chat Sunday, I'm going to do some shout outs. Yes! I told y'all I was going to be doing shout outs of other channels. Okay, so the first shout out that I'm going to do is Lynette Longmire. Hey, Lynette. Lynette was one of the first people that I reached out to when I first started my channel almost a year ago, and she reached back. And so we have been YouTube buddies, and I would consider her a friend. We've talked on the telephone, so on and so forth. She has a very nice channel. All of her videos are short and to the point. She does reviews. She talks about things that are going on in her life. Right now she has her mom living with her that she just moved into her home. And so she's, you know, having some stress issues with that. So I'm going to leave her channel down below, y'all. Y'all go over and y'all check her out. Let her know that It's Dawny Wawny sent you. But she's a very nice lady, very down to earth and very low key. My next shout out is going to go to Shirley Smith. Hey Shirley girl, how are you? Shirley has a beauty channel. Now Shirley is just so cute. She's very soft spoken. She does reviews. She does hauls. She does events where she goes in and she does the decorating for events and, you know, all of that type of stuff. She does lookbooks. She's very soft spoken, but she is has a very nice spirit, and that's what I enjoy about Shirley. So Shirley Smith channel will be linked down below. And then finally, my last shout out is to Abeni Bamidele. Abeni Bamidele. Miss Abeni, I have been practicing your name all week long so I can get it right. Abeni Bamidele. I just love the way she says her name when she comes on. Hello, this is Abeni Bamidele. You can call me Abeni for short. Oh, y'all got to go check her out. She is very inspirational. It's very uplifting. She makes jewelry by hand, and her channel is about positivity for the soul. That's what I get from it, and I truly enjoy her channel. Now, she just did a video recently on depression, and there's a lot of videos out there on depression. But Abeni's video really breaks it down and puts it in perspective so that you can totally understand. So all these times you've been saying you ain't been depressed, yeah you have. You have. You just brought yourself out of it. You brought yourself back into the light, but you had a bout with it. And that's what she breaks down. And it was just so enlightening for me. So y'all go over and y'all check her out. Very good spirit. Very sincere in what she's saying. I do believe she writes poetry as well. Correct me, Abeni, if I'm wrong, but I do believe she writes poetry as well, and I love poetry and spoken word. So I'll have her channel linked down below as well. Y'all go over and check her out. So that's it. Might be a little long, but it was some important information that I needed to get out to you guys. And I just wanted you know to spend a little time sharing on Chit Chat Sunday. I want to thank you all for tuning in and leaving your comments and everything and subscribing to my channel. I truly appreciate you. To all my ride or die, y'all know how I feel about you. Thank you so much. You're always there to support my channel, and I truly appreciate you as well. And until next, and anybody that just happened up on my channel, hit that little red box down there and say subscribe. Yes. If y'all like this Chit Chat Sunday, please thumbs it up. And until next time, we're all beautiful. Just remember that you need to embrace your inner beauty as you do your outer. Mwah. Smooches.